She said, "I have a stronger medicine for you." I asked, "Will you help me take it? Is it bitter?" Orbital Station Arian was not the largest human outpost, but it had become a hub for medical research on the edges of known space. Ships came here, their crews sick or injured, seeking help from the best human doctors humanity could offer. And today, Dr. Elian Arrows was waiting for a visitor unlike any he had ever seen. Elian paced the medbay, his fingers brushing the smooth surface of a console. Outside the wide viewport, stars streaked in slow motion as ships passed by the station's orbit. His mind was heavy with worry. The latest reports of the cosmic virus troubling the outer colonies were grim. Crews were losing consciousness, memory, even the ability to think clearly. And though humans had made remarkable progress in medicine, this disease resisted every conventional treatment. He sighed and ran a hand through his dark hair. The station was quiet, too quiet. Normally, the hum of machinery and distant chatter of technicians filled the corridors. Today, even the lights seemed dim, as though the station itself was waiting for something or someone. Then the medbay doors hissed open. Elian turned sharply, expecting perhaps another human assistant. Instead, a figure stepped through, and Elian's breath caught. The being was not human, yet not frightening. Lyra, as she introduced herself in a soft, musical voice, had features that seemed both alien and familiar. Her skin shimmered faintly, like polished copper under the medbay lights. Her eyes, large and reflective, held something deep, knowledge, but also compassion. She wore a flowing garment that seemed to float around her, moving as if it had a mind of its own. "I am Lyra," she said, voice calm, almost melodic. "I have heard of your troubles. I have a medicine that may help." Elian felt a flutter of excitement and caution. "A medicine?" he asked, his tone carefully neutral. "I've seen many cures, many attempts. What makes yours different?" Lyra's eyes softened. "It is not like your medicines. It is stronger, it reaches deeper, but it requires guidance and trust." Elian swallowed hard. Trust was not easily given, especially to a species humanity barely understood. Yet, there was something in her gaze that made him pause. Perhaps she could help. Perhaps humanity had finally found a way to fight this relentless disease. "Will you help me take it?" he asked, almost instinctively, though he did not yet understand why. "Is it bitter?" Lyra's lips curved into a faint smile. "The bitterness is not in taste, it is in the mind. It challenges what you fear, what you hide, but fear not, I will guide you." Elian's heart raced. He had dedicated his life to saving others, but now he faced a choice for himself. Could he allow this alien being to guide him through an unknown journey of mind and body? Could he trust her completely? The medbay doors closed behind Lyra. The hum of machinery returned, gentle and reassuring. She moved closer, hands raised slightly, not in threat but in greeting. "Before we begin," she said softly, "I must understand you. I must understand humans. Tell me, Dr. Elian, what do you fear most?" Elian paused. It was not an easy question. He feared the virus spreading, taking away lives before they could be saved. He feared failure, of course, but deeper than that, he feared that humanity, despite its achievements, was fragile. Too fragile to survive the cosmos without guidance. And yet he also feared missing this chance. "I fear losing what we care for," he admitted finally. "Not just lives, but hope. The hope that humans can endure, can adapt, can find solutions where none exist." Lyra nodded. "Then you are ready to begin. The medicine is not taken like your usual remedies. It is a journey. You must participate fully, and I will guide you. Are you willing?" Elian thought for a long moment. His mind raced through possibilities, risks, and outcomes. Then slowly he nodded. "Yes, I am willing." Lyra smiled again, a warmth in her presence that seemed to fill the room. She reached into a small pouch at her side and drew out a vial. The liquid inside shimmered with shifting colors, almost as if it contained the light of a star. "This will not harm you," she assured. It will help you see and think and grow in ways you cannot yet imagine. Elian took a deep breath and reached for the vial. The liquid shimmered as if aware of his touch. And when he finally drank, a strange calm washed over him. It was not immediate, not dramatic, but subtle, like the first light of dawn filtering through darkness. Lyra's voice echoed in his mind. Now the journey begins. You will see what lies within and what lies ahead. Fear will appear, doubt will appear, but do not resist. Embrace them, understand them, and you will find the strength you did not know you possessed. Elian's vision blurred, colors shifted, shapes formed and dissolved. He felt as though he was floating outside of himself, watching memories, emotions, and possibilities swirl around him. Some were familiar, his first day as a doctor, the faces of patients he had saved. Others were strange, visions of worlds he had never visited, of challenges he had never faced. Through it all, Lyra's presence was steady, guiding him with gentle words and gestures. She did not force him, did not control him. She simply illuminated paths he might choose, possibilities he might embrace. Hours, or was it minutes, passed. Elian lost track of time. When he finally opened his eyes, he was back in the medbay. The lights were normal. The machines hummed as before, yet he felt different. Stronger, clearer, more aware of his thoughts, his potential, and his place in the universe. Lyra watched him, her eyes reflecting satisfaction and something more, curiosity. "You see, Dr. Elian," she said softly, "the medicine is not just for the body. It awakens the mind. It shows what you are capable of if you dare to try." Elian nodded slowly. Words failed him. He felt a deep gratitude but also a sense of responsibility. The disease was still out there, spreading, affecting lives, and he now possessed insight that might change everything. But insight alone was not enough. Action was required. Will it help others like me?" he asked finally. Lyra smiled. "That is why I am here. You will help guide them. Humans are remarkable, Dr. Elian. You learn, adapt, and care in ways no other species does. This medicine will amplify what is already within you, and when others take it, they will find strength in their humanity just as you have." Elian felt a spark of hope. Perhaps humanity was not just surviving. Perhaps it was beginning to thrive, even at the edge of the cosmos. He looked out the viewport at the endless expanse of stars. Somewhere out there, ships carried sick crews, and soon he would bring this knowledge to them. He would help them take the medicine, guide them as Lyra guided him. And through it, humanity's true strength, its creativity, compassion, and courage, would shine brighter than ever before. Lyra's voice drew him back from his thoughts. "Rest now. The journey has begun, but this is only the first step. Tomorrow, you will begin helping others. And together, we will face what comes next." Elian nodded. As Lyra moved to leave, he felt a strange warmth of connection. She was not just a healer. She was a guide, a teacher, and perhaps the key to humanity's next evolution. He sat down, looking out at the stars, and let himself feel a rare peace. For the first time in a long time, he did not feel alone. Humanity had a chance, and he, guided by Lyra and the medicine, was ready to lead it into the unknown. The stars outside twinkled like distant promises. Elian closed his eyes, feeling the calm after the storm. The journey had begun. The morning light of orbital station Arian was faint but steady, casting soft shadows across the medbay. "Doctor." Elian Arrows awoke with a sense of clarity he had never known before. His mind, once crowded with worries and doubts, felt sharp, precise, and full of possibility. The experience with Lyra's medicine was still fresh, a gentle echo lingering in his thoughts. He rose from his bunk and moved to the viewport. Outside, the stars streaked slowly as the station continued its orbit around the distant gas giant. The sight no longer seemed empty. He felt connected to everything: the station, the stars, the humans and aliens who traveled through the void, and even to Lyra herself. "Dr. Elian," a soft voice interrupted his thoughts. It was Mara, his assistant, a young human with an energy that reminded him why he had chosen this life. "You're up early. Is it the medicine?" Elian nodded. "Yes, I think I understand it better now. Not just what it does to the body, but to the mind, to the way we think and feel." Mara tilted her head, curious. "How? I mean, you took it and you survived, but what does it do?" Elian paused. He tried to find the right words. "It shows us who we are, our strengths, our weaknesses, even the fears we hide. And then it helps us face them, but it's not easy. The medicine is like a journey inside yourself. It asks you to grow, to think differently, to trust more than you ever have." Mara listened intently, eyes wide. "So, it's like a mind healer." "Yes," Elian said softly. "But more than that, it teaches you. It teaches humans what we are capable of. And I think it might teach the universe what humans can be." Just then, the medbay doors hissed open, and Lyra entered, moving as gracefully as she had the day before. Her copper-like skin glimmered in the soft light, and her eyes held the same calm depth that had first fascinated Elian. "You are awake," Lyra said. Her voice was gentle, yet carried authority. "And ready to continue," Elian nodded. "I am, but I need to understand it more." "How does it work? Why humans?" Lyra walked closer, her gaze focused yet kind. "The medicine is semi-sentient. It interacts with consciousness, guiding the patient through trials of thought, memory, and emotion. It adapts to each individual. But humans, you are unique. Your minds are flexible, resilient, and creative. You learn not only from facts, but from experience, empathy, and intuition. That is why you respond so well to it." Elian absorbed her words. He had always known humans were adaptable, clever, and resourceful. But hearing it described in this way made him feel both proud and responsible. "So, this medicine could change humanity," Lyra smiled faintly. "Not change, awaken. Your species has potential that has not yet been realized. The medicine does not give you power. It reveals what is already inside, but it also tests you. The mind can resist. Fear can block growth. The process is challenging." Elian thought back to the first experience, how his memories and fears had appeared as swirling visions. He remembered doubt, the small voice inside him asking if he was ready, if he could succeed. And yet, with Lyra's guidance, he had moved past it. "What about others?" he asked. "Can we help them too?" Lyra's eyes brightened. "Yes, but only if you understand the process yourself. Only then can you guide others safely. The medicine works best with someone who knows how to face themselves. You must be a mentor, a guide, and a patient all at once." Elian nodded slowly. "Then we start small. Volunteers. Healthy minds first, then those affected by the virus." Lyra inclined her head. "Correct, but choose wisely. Not all are ready. The journey is difficult, but those who succeed, they gain insight, strength, and clarity." The next few hours were spent preparing. Elian and Mara organized the medbay, ensuring every module was ready for the first human trials. The volunteers were curious, nervous, and brave in their own ways. They were students, engineers, technicians, humans from different backgrounds, each with unique experiences and personalities. The first volunteer was Mara herself. "I want to do this," she said firmly. "I trust you, Elian." "And I trust her," she added, glancing at Lyra. Elian smiled, feeling a rush of pride. "Then let's begin. Remember, it is a journey. You will see memories, fears, possibilities. Do not resist. Let the process guide you." Lyra handed Mara a small vial containing the shimmering liquid. "Drink when ready. Focus on your mind, not your body. Trust yourself. Trust the medicine." Mara took a deep breath and drank. Almost immediately, her eyes widened. Colors shifted around her, and the room seemed to dissolve into a swirl of light and sound. She was moving through memories, first her childhood, then her training, then moments of self-doubt she had long forgotten. Elian watched closely, his own mind calm but alert. "Focus," he said softly. "Let it guide you." Hours passed, and Mara's breathing remained steady, though her expression shifted between surprise, fear, and wonder. Elian could see the medicine working. helping her confront doubts, face insecurities, and find new ways of thinking. When she finally opened her eyes, she was transformed, not physically but mentally. She smiled, a mixture of relief and amazement. "It's different," she said. "I feel stronger, clearer, like I can solve problems I couldn't before, and I feel more connected to others." Elian nodded. "Yes, that is the point. The medicine awakens potential, and now you will help guide others." The process continued with other volunteers. Each experienced unique challenges, memories of failure, fears of loss, uncertainties about their future. But each emerged with insight, creativity, and a renewed sense of purpose. The medbay became a place of quiet amazement, where human minds expanded and strengthened, guided by Lyra's gentle presence and Elian's careful mentoring. By the end of the day, Elian realized something profound. Humans were remarkable not because of technology or strength, but because of their ability to think, adapt, and care. The medicine had amplified these qualities, but it had also revealed what was already inside. Lyra approached him as the last volunteer rested. "Do you see now?" she asked softly. "The medicine does not give humans power, it shows it. And humans, you surpass expectations. You learn, you adapt, you care. That is why you are special." Elian nodded, feeling a deep sense of pride and responsibility. "We have potential, I understand that now, and we can help the sick, the weak, and the lost. We can guide them too." Lyra smiled. "Exactly, but remember, the journey is ongoing. The medicine is a tool, not a solution. The strength of humans comes from within. This is only the beginning." The day ended with quiet reflection. Elian and Mara stood by the viewport, watching distant ships pass in the blackness of space. He felt hope, not just for the station but for all humanity. They were capable of greatness, of solving problems, helping others, and rising above challenges that no other species could face with the same creativity and heart. "Do you think humans are ready?" Mara asked softly. Elian looked out at the stars, feeling the weight of responsibility but also the excitement of possibility. "Yes, and more than that, I know we will rise to the challenge. We have no choice but to grow, to learn, and to trust each other. That is what makes us human." Lyra's voice echoed quietly in the background, almost as if carried by the hum of the station itself. "Remember, Dr. Elian, the greatest journeys begin with trust, and humanity has already begun its journey." As night fell over the station, Elian felt a calm determination. The cosmic virus still threatened the colonies, still challenged the limits of human knowledge. But now he knew humanity had the tools, not just technology, but courage, empathy, and creativity to face the unknown. And with the medicine, guided by careful hands and wise minds, they could awaken the potential that lay within them all. For the first time, Elian believed that humanity was ready, not just to survive, but to thrive in the cosmos. And the journey had only just begun. The medbay was quieter than usual that morning, but the tension was almost tangible. Dr. Elian Arrows moved among the equipment, checking monitors, vials, and patient pods. Today was different. Today, they would begin the trials for those actually affected by the cosmic virus. The stakes were higher. The pressure was heavier. Elian took a deep breath and looked at Lyra, who was calmly standing near the doorway. Her copper-like skin shimmered softly under the lights, and her large reflective eyes held the same calm patience he had seen from the start. She had guided the healthy volunteers, but now the real challenge began. The sick were unpredictable, frightened, and often unwilling to trust anyone, let alone an alien being with unknown medicine. "Are you ready?" Lyra asked softly. Elian nodded. "I have to be. They're counting on us, and I need to see if this medicine can truly help them." The first patient was brought in, a young engineer named Tavin, whose memory and coordination had been failing over the last week. His eyes were hollow, his movements slow and uncertain. He looked at the medbay with confusion and fear. Elian approached him gently. Tavin, I'm Dr. Elian. You're safe here. We have someone who can help you. He gestured toward Lyra. This medicine, it will guide your mind. You won't face it alone. Tavin's eyes flickered to Lyra, and for a moment he seemed frozen. But then, as if sensing the calm strength in her presence, he nodded slightly. He took a seat and held out his hand, accepting the vial she offered. Focus on your mind, Lyra instructed, not your body. Trust yourself, trust the medicine. Tavin drank, and immediately his surroundings seemed to shift. The walls of the medbay melted into streams of color, memories appearing as if projected in the air around him. He saw himself at work on the station, failing a complex repair. Then he saw moments he had tried to forget, arguments with colleagues, mistakes in judgment, moments of self-doubt. Elian and Lyra watched silently. They knew the journey could be unsettling. The medicine did not shield the mind from fear. It led the patient directly into it, showing them what needed to be confronted. Hours passed, and Tavin's expressions changed constantly. There was confusion, worry, and then, slowly, understanding. His movements became more confident, his eyes brighter. The medicine was guiding him not just to heal, but to learn, to adapt. Finally, he opened his eyes. The medbay returned to normal. Tavin looked around, a mixture of relief and amazement on his face. I feel different, he said quietly. Stronger, like I understand things I couldn't before. Elian smiled. Yes, Tavin, you faced your fears, you learned from them. That is the medicine's gift. Lyra nodded approvingly. And now you can help others just as you have been helped. That is how humans grow, not just individually, but together. The next patient was Mara's friend, Selin, whose memory loss had been affecting her ability to operate ship systems. She was frightened, shaking as she approached the medbay, but Mara stood by her side, holding her hand. It's okay, she whispered. I've done it, you can do it too. Elian gave Selin a reassuring nod. You are not alone, we will guide you through this. As Selin drank the medicine, her mind flooded with images. Errors she had made, forgotten instructions, moments of hesitation. But she also saw her courage, her creativity, and the times she had solved problems in ways no one expected. She confronted the doubt that had held her back, and slowly the light returned to her eyes. When she opened them, she smiled. I understand now. I can fix things again. I can think clearly. Elian felt a warmth spread through him. Each patient's journey was unique, but all shared one trait: humanity's resilience. The medicine did not force them to change. It amplified their courage, creativity, and empathy. It showed them what they could achieve if they dared to trust themselves. Hours turned into days as the trials continued. The medbay became a place of quiet transformation. Patients who had once been paralyzed by fear or confusion emerged stronger, more confident, and more capable than before. Each journey was different, yet the results were consistent. Humans were adapting in ways even Lyra had not anticipated. Elian noticed something remarkable. The medicine seemed to interact differently with humans than it had with any other species Lyra had worked with. While other beings had gained strength or clarity, humans were developing not just understanding, but creativity. They were finding solutions to problems in ways no algorithm or alien mind could predict. One evening, as the medbay quieted and the last patient rested, Elian and Lyra stood by the viewport. You are amazed, Lyra said softly, reading his expression. Elian nodded. I am. Humans, we respond differently. We think, adapt, create, we care. And that seems to make the medicine more powerful in us. Lyra smiled. Exactly. The medicine learns from the patient, it adapts. And humans, you teach it new possibilities. That is why I chose to come here. You are capable of growth that surpasses expectation. Elian thought of the virus, the colonies struggling, the lives at stake. If this medicine can awaken that in everyone, we could save countless lives, but it will take guidance, patience, and trust. Yes, Lyra agreed, and you have begun that work. Tomorrow, the next step begins. Volunteers will take the medicine and you will guide them. The future is not only survival, it is growth, understanding, and collaboration. That night, as Elian rested, he thought of the patients, their journeys through fear and doubt, and the incredible resilience he had witnessed. Humanity had faced countless challenges before, plagues, wars, disasters, and yet they had always adapted, learned, and grown stronger. The medicine was not giving them something new. It was revealing what they had always possessed. In the following days, the pace of trials increased. Elian became a mentor as much as a doctor. He guided patients through the swirling visions, offering reassurance, insights, and gentle encouragement. Lyra observed, intervening only when necessary, allowing Elian to lead. The bond between human and alien deepened, built on trust, patience, and mutual respect. Each day brought new discoveries. Patients who had been weak, fearful, or uncertain found clarity, problem-solving skills, and empathy they had not realized they possessed. Engineers found innovative ways to repair damaged systems. Medics discovered new ways to heal without relying on conventional tools. And slowly, a new culture of growth and cooperation emerged within the station. Elian realized the true power of the medicine was not just in curing the virus. It was in unlocking the human mind, revealing creativity, insight, and compassion that could overcome challenges no single individual, or even alien intelligence, could solve alone. One morning, Lyra approached him as he watched a patient finish their journey. "Do you see it, doctor?" "Elian?" she asked. "Yes," he replied, eyes wide with realization. "Humans, we are capable of more than we ever imagined, not just surviving but thriving. We can face the virus, the challenges of space, anything if we trust ourselves and each other." Lyra's eyes reflected satisfaction and something deeper, curiosity, perhaps even admiration. "This is only the beginning. The real test comes when you face the unexpected, when the unknown challenges your abilities. But you are ready. Humanity is ready." Elian looked out at the stars again. Somewhere beyond the station, ships carried crews in danger, colonies were at risk, and the virus continued to spread. But he no longer felt fear. He felt determination. Humans were not just survivors. They were innovators, problem solvers, and caregivers. And with the medicine, guided by trust and understanding, they could rise to any challenge. The night settled over Arian, calm but alive with potential. Elian knew the journey ahead would not be easy. There would be setbacks, doubts, and moments of fear. But he also knew that humans, with courage, creativity, and compassion, would face the challenges of the cosmos with strength unlike any other species. The medicine had awakened something extraordinary. And humanity, guided by wisdom, trust, and resilience, was beginning to show what it truly meant to thrive among the stars. The medbay lights flickered gently as Dr. Elian Arrows moved among the patient pods. He had spent weeks guiding volunteers through the medicine, watching humans confront their fears, doubts, and limitations. He had seen them grow stronger, sharper, more creative. And now it was his turn. The cosmic virus was spreading faster than anticipated. Reports came from nearby colonies, ships drifting in orbit, crews disoriented, systems failing. The station had to act quickly. Elian knew that guiding others was one thing, but to save the station and the colonies, he needed to take the medicine himself. He needed to unlock the insights that only it could reveal. Lyra approached quietly, her presence calm and steady. "You are ready," she said softly. "But remember, this journey is different. You will face not only fear and doubt, but responsibility. The mind is challenged when the stakes are highest." Elian nodded. "I understand. I must be ready to guide others and make decisions that affect more than just myself." She held out the vial. The liquid shimmered in soft, shifting colors as if alive. Elian took it in both hands, feeling a strange warmth radiate from it. He drank. The world around him dissolved instantly into a cascade of color, sound, and thought. He was no longer standing in the medbay. He was everywhere and nowhere at once. Memories and possibilities swirled around him. The virus spreading through a colony, engineers failing to repair systems, medics struggling to maintain order. And then he saw solutions, paths that no one had thought of, innovations that were hidden in the limits of human imagination. The medicine challenged him, showing visions of failure and doubt. What if he miscalculated? What if his insights led to disaster? But Lyra's voice echoed gently in his mind. Trust yourself. Trust humanity. He focused on the problem, letting his mind move freely. Patterns appeared, weak points in the station's systems, alternative ways to stabilize power, methods to communicate with ships beyond the virus interference. He realized that the key was not brute force or technology alone, but human ingenuity combined with cooperation and empathy. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time had no meaning in the space the medicine created. Elian explored solutions, tested possibilities, and refined ideas until clarity emerged. When he finally opened his eyes, the medbay returned. The station hummed as before, but he was different. He could see the path forward clearly. Lyra observed him with a faint smile. You have seen possibilities that others cannot. Now you must act. Elian moved quickly. He gathered the volunteers who had completed their trials. Mara, Tavin, Selin, and others stood ready, their minds sharpened and confident. We have a challenge ahead, he said firmly. The virus is affecting ships in nearby orbit. Communications are failing. Systems are breaking down, but we can fix it together. He outlined the plan. It was not simple. They would need to stabilize power grids on infected ships remotely, coordinate repairs, and maintain life support functions. But he had devised solutions that relied on each person's unique strengths, creativity, and ability to improvise. The medicine had shown him how humans could think beyond algorithms and protocols, seeing solutions where no conventional method would work. The volunteers listened intently, absorbing instructions. Then, guided by Elian, they began. Mara coordinated repairs, using unconventional methods inspired by her insights from the medicine. Tavin worked on system diagnostics, predicting errors before they occurred. Selin recalibrated navigation and life support controls using patterns she had never understood before. Elian moved between stations, observing, advising, and adjusting. The medbay was a hub of activity, not chaos, but focused collaboration. Each human mind contributed in ways that no single algorithm or machine could replicate. The medicine had amplified their skills, but the real strength came from their courage, creativity, and trust in one another. Across the station and into orbit, the virus continued to spread, but Elian's team was ready. Using unconventional communication signals, they guided remote crews, helping them stabilize ships long enough to implement repairs. Each step required careful thought, improvisation, and empathy, understanding how the human crews reacted under fear and fatigue. Hours passed and the results became clear. Ships that had drifted out of control were stabilized. Crews regained consciousness and confidence. Life support systems that had faltered were restored, and through it all, the station remained secure. Elian paused, looking out at the stars. The crisis was far from over, but humanity had proven its ability to face the impossible. Not through force, not through technology alone, but through ingenuity, cooperation, and resilience. Lyra approached him once more. You have done more than I expected, she said. Humans do not merely survive challenges, they innovate, adapt, and grow stronger. This is your gift. Elian shook his head slightly, a small smile on his face. It's not just me, it's everyone. The medicine revealed our potential, but it's humans who act. We think, adapt, and care. That's what matters. That's what saves lives. Lyra's eyes reflected admiration. Indeed, I have studied many species. None possess your combination of adaptability, empathy, and creativity. It is remarkable. You learn not only from success, but from failure, and you teach others as you grow. That is why the future belongs to those who trust themselves and each other. The station quieted as the team rested. Volunteers reflected on the events, amazed at what they had achieved. They had stabilized ships that had seemed lost, saved crews whose lives had hung in the balance, and discovered abilities they had never imagined within themselves. Elian remained awake, gazing out at the stars. Somewhere beyond the reaches of the station, more ships were in danger, more colonies struggled, more crises awaited. But for the first time, he did not feel fear. He felt possibility. He understood that humans, guided by insight, trust, and creativity, could face challenges no one else could. Lyra's voice echoed softly, almost like a whisper carried on the hum of the station. "Doctor." Elian, the greatest journeys begin with trust, and the greatest solutions come from courage and insight. Humanity has shown it can rise above fear, above doubt, and above limits. And this is only the beginning. Elian nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility and the spark of hope. The cosmic virus had tested them, but it had also revealed the strength of humanity. Not strength of body, but of mind and spirit. Humans could think, create, and care in ways no other species could. That was their gift. The next day, reports came in from nearby colonies. Ships were communicating again. Crews were recovering. Systems were stabilizing. And across the expanse of space, humans were beginning to show the universe what they were capable of. Elian knew there would be more challenges, more unknowns, more crises. But he also knew that humanity had the ability to rise to any occasion. Guided by insight, trust, and cooperation, they could face even the most impossible problems. Lyra stood beside him, looking out at the stars. "Your people will be watched now," she said softly. "Other species will see what humans can achieve. They will learn from you, and they may even seek guidance. You have begun something extraordinary." Elian smiled faintly. "Then let them watch. Let them see what humans can do, not through force, not through fear, but through thinking, caring, and daring to grow. That is our medicine, that is our gift." Lyra nodded. "Indeed, and you, Dr. Elian, have led the way." As night fell over Arian, the station hummed with quiet energy. Humans rested, but their minds remained alert, prepared for the next challenge. They had faced fear, confronted doubt, and discovered the power within themselves. And in doing so, they had proven that humanity's true strength lay not in technology alone, but in courage, ingenuity, and compassion. The stars outside twinkled like distant promises. And Elian knew that tomorrow, humanity would rise even higher, facing the unknown with minds awakened, hearts courageous, and spirits unbroken. The journey was far from over, but humanity had already begun to shine among the stars. The morning sun, or what passed for sunrise in the endless black of space, cast a soft glow over orbital station Arian. "Doctor." Elian Arrows stood at the viewport, watching distant colonies and ships drift along their orbits. Life was returning. The cosmic virus, once a creeping shadow over humanity's outposts, was now being controlled. Crews were recovering, and systems once failing were stable again. Elian's heart was heavy with the memory of those lost to the virus, yet full of hope. The past weeks had shown him something extraordinary. Humanity's strength was not merely in technology or numbers, but in courage, creativity, and empathy. And now the galaxy itself seemed to be taking notice. Lyra appeared beside him quietly, her presence calm and reassuring. "The work here is nearly complete," she said softly. "Your species has shown resilience, ingenuity, and heart. The universe watches now, curious and respectful. You have begun something remarkable." Elian nodded, turning from the stars to meet her gaze. "It's not just me. It's everyone. The volunteers, the patients, the teams, they've all grown." The medicine revealed potential, but humans made it real. Lyra's eyes glimmered faintly. "Yes, the medicine awakens, but humans act. That is why you are extraordinary." You have shown that intelligence alone is not enough. The combination of mind, heart, and trust is what allows a species to thrive. Elian reflected on the past days, the moments when patients confronted their fears, when volunteers applied insights from the medicine to save drifting ships, and the quiet courage he had witnessed in ordinary humans rising to extraordinary challenges. Each step had been a revelation, showing not just the strength of individuals but the power of collaboration. He remembered Tavin, whose hands had trembled before the medicine, now moving with confidence and precision, repairing systems that had threatened to fail completely. He remembered Selin, once lost in doubt, now recalibrating complex controls with insight that surpassed even the most advanced algorithms. And Mara, whose courage and empathy had guided others through the trials, creating a ripple effect of growth across the station. Elian turned back to the stars. Somewhere out there, colonies that had seemed helpless were now stabilizing, their crews finding solutions to problems that once appeared insurmountable. Humanity had not only survived the virus, it had learned, grown, and shown the universe a new kind of strength. Lyra spoke again, her voice gentle yet firm. Other species will come to observe, to learn. Some will seek guidance. Others may test you. But remember, strength is not only in solving problems. It is in teaching, in sharing, in trusting, and in adapting. Humanity has done that already. Elian smiled faintly. Then we will continue, not as conquerors or rulers, but as learners and teachers. We will show that intelligence, combined with empathy and courage, can overcome any challenge. The day passed quickly. Teams coordinated with distant ships, sharing knowledge, strategies, and resources. Patients who had once struggled now led small groups, applying their newfound insights to assist others. The medbay, once a place of quiet trials, became a hub of collaboration, innovation, and hope. By afternoon, a new message arrived from the outer colonies. Lyra gestured toward it. It is from the Central Federation. They have observed your work. They wish to acknowledge humanity's efforts and invite cooperation on a wider scale. Elian opened the message, reading carefully. It was formal, yet it carried awe and respect. The Federation had noted the unique ways humans had adapted to the virus, solved problems with ingenuity, and cared for one another. Other species had noticed the combination of intelligence, creativity, and empathy that made humans extraordinary. He looked at Lyra, a mixture of pride and wonder on his face. They see it. Humanity is recognized for more than survival. They see our potential, our ability to grow, to think, and to care. Lyra nodded. Yes, and this is only the beginning. Humanity has taken the first step on a path of discovery and collaboration across the stars. You have shown that growth comes not only from science or technology, but from trust, courage, and creativity. Elian felt a warmth spread through him. He thought of every patient, every volunteer, every human who had faced fear and doubt and emerged stronger. The medicine had awakened potential, yes, but humanity had acted, and that action had made the difference. That evening, the station quieted. Elian walked through the corridors, observing volunteers helping with maintenance, teaching new recruits, and guiding remote crews. Every face reflected determination, clarity, and hope. Humanity was alive with energy and purpose, ready to meet the challenges of space with minds sharpened and spirits lifted. He stopped by the viewport once more, gazing at the distant stars. Each point of light represented opportunity, challenge, and possibility. And humanity, he realized, was ready to explore, to learn, to teach, and to grow. Lyra's voice echoed softly in the medbay. Dr. Elian, the medicine has done what it was meant to do, but the true gift lies in what humans do with it. You have proven that strength comes not only from knowledge, but from courage, empathy, and collaboration. The universe is watching, and humanity shines. Elian closed his eyes, feeling the weight of responsibility and the spark of hope together. He understood now that the journey was far from over. The cosmos would always present new challenges, viruses, unknown phenomena, technological dilemmas, but humanity had shown it could rise above fear and doubt. It could think, adapt, and care in ways no other species could replicate. The next morning, Arian was alive with energy. Volunteers and recovered patients were preparing for new missions. Some would travel to distant colonies to assist crews. Others would remain on the station, teaching and mentoring new humans who arrived from across the stars. The ripple effect of the medicine's guidance, combined with human courage and creativity, promised to reach far beyond what anyone had imagined. Elian gathered the team in the central hub. "Today," he said, voice strong yet calm, "we continue our work. Not because we are the strongest, not because we have the most advanced tools, but because we are humans. We think, we create, we care. And that is our true strength." Mara stepped forward, smiling. "We will share what we've learned. We will guide others, help them see what they are capable of. Humanity is not just surviving, it is growing." Lyra's presence at the back of the room was calm, almost serene. She watched, knowing that humans were now the guides of their own destiny. "You have begun a new era," she said softly. "An era where humanity's potential is no longer hidden, and the stars themselves will bear witness to your journey." The team nodded, inspired. They had faced fear, confronted doubt, and unlocked strengths they had never known. And now they would carry those lessons to the far reaches of the galaxy, helping others, exploring new frontiers, and showing what humans could achieve. Elian took a deep breath. "We begin anew today. With trust, courage, and creativity, we will face whatever comes. Together." The station hummed with life and energy, a beacon of hope in the silent expanse of space. Ships departed for distant colonies, guided by the insights of humans who had faced the unknown and grown stronger. The cosmic virus would continue to challenge them, but humanity was prepared, not just to survive, but to thrive. As night fell, Elian returned to the viewport. Stars shimmered like distant promises, each one a new challenge, a new opportunity. He knew the journey ahead would be long and uncertain, but he also knew this: humanity had awakened, and the potential within them was limitless. Lyra stood beside him one last time before departing. "Remember," she said softly, "the medicine was never just about healing. It was about revealing what you already possess. And humans, you have shown the universe what it truly means to grow, to care, and to rise." Elian nodded, feeling the full weight of her words. "We will continue. We will explore, learn, and guide. Humanity will shine, not through force, but through courage, ingenuity, and heart." The stars outside seemed to sparkle brighter, reflecting the spirit of a species ready to step into the future. Humanity's journey had begun, not as mere survivors, but as innovators, problem solvers, and caretakers of the cosmos. And as Elian watched, he felt certain of one thing: the universe had never seen a species like humanity, and the story of their rise had only just begun.